Are you interested in venturing into the world of video creation but are unsure of which camera to choose? With so many options available, it is a little overwhelming, which is why I'm going to show you why I think the Fuji X-T4 is one of the best entry-level video cameras on the market today. Welcome back, my name is Andrew Cooper at andrewcoopervideo.com, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be the first to be notified about actionable, real-life tips on how to improve your videography and photography skills. When I started to get serious about videography, I was pretty clueless about which camera I was going to buy. I was in need of a versatile camera that excelled both in video and still photography, a sort of jack of all trades and master of some. A friend of mine asked if I had considered using Fuji. I remember my mom's Fuji camera growing up as a kid, but I had never considered them doing anything beyond photography and making film. How wrong I was. The Fuji X-T4 was the fourth iteration of the XT series that began with the XT1 in 2014. While it still maintained the 26 megapixel APS-C sensor from its predecessor, the XT3, it also included several significant improvements in image stabilization, battery life, and video capabilities. The first thing that caught my attention about the X-T4 was its retro body style. I was instantly captivated by the classic look and feel of the camera. The robust body, the metal controls, the physical dials, it really just strikes the perfect balance where it's substantial enough to ensure a secure grip, yet it's also very compact and lightweight. It also includes a fully articulating 3-inch touchscreen, which is incredibly helpful for vlogging and general video purposes. One feature that stands out is the dedicated dials for ISO and shutter speed on top of the camera, and this is a really great way to learn how the exposure triangle works. Not only are they conveniently placed, but they also lock into place, eliminating any worries about accidentally changing settings while shooting. So to ensure that the top dial settings don't interfere when you're filming, simply set the left dial, which is the ISO, to C, and the middle dial, which is the shutter speed, to T, and the right dial, which is exposure compensation, to C. What's helpful about this is that you don't have to switch between two different ways of controlling the camera when shooting photos or videos. In terms of video, the X-T4 can record ultra high definition 4K videos up to 60 frames per second, Full HD up to 240 frames per second, and F-Log Gamma, which we'll talk more about later. It also offers a 10-bit 422 option via HDMI and a 10-bit 420 option internally to an SD card. Another important addition to the X-T4 is the 5-axis in-body image stabilization, or IBIS, which can compensate for up to 6.5 stops of camera shake. Now, depending on the shot you're trying to get, this may not always be ideal, but it's definitely helpful in a lot of run and gun situations. Another improvement, and one that's very helpful when you're recording video, is the improved battery life, which is about 30 minutes more than the X-T3. And just like the X-T3, it also retains the dual SD card slots, both of which support the UHS-2 standard for faster write speeds. Let's talk about the input and output jacks. Now, one issue I do have with the X-T4, and there's not many of them, is the fact that you need an adapter to monitor audio. It does come with an 1/8 inch to USB-C dongle, but honestly, it's a pain to keep track of, which is why I use a battery grip with a separate mic input and headphone jack. Also, the HDMI output is mini HDMI, so you will need an adapter for that as well. Not a deal breaker, but something you definitely want to keep in mind. Now let's talk about the video quality itself. It also has a generous bandwidth of 400 megabits per second, which allows you to capture an astonishing level of detail and dynamic range. When it comes to focus, the manual focus mode with focus peaking allows for precision focus control, but it doesn't skimp on autofocus capabilities either. Equipped with intelligent hybrid autofocus, the camera smoothly switches between phase detection and contrast detection. This ensures fast and accurate focus in a wide variety of lighting conditions. One of my favorite features is the face eye detection autofocus mode, which is really handy when you record video of yourself, like I am right now. Now that you have a good idea of what the camera is capable of, let's talk about the video settings. For the best quality image, configure your camera to 4K resolution. When you're capturing action shots, I recommend setting the frame rate to 60 frames per second, and for other scenarios like interviews, set the frame rate to 24 frames per second. When selecting the compression method, you have the choice of long GOP or all intra. So let's talk about what that means. Long GOP, or long GOP, which stands for Group of Pictures, compresses multiple frames together by storing only the differences between frames rather than the entirety of each frame. Although this results in smaller file sizes, keep in mind that it could be more taxing on your computer during post-production. On the other hand, All-Intra stores each frame as a separate entity, making it easier and faster to edit by alleviating computational stress in post-production. The downside, of course, is that you're going to have larger file sizes as it offers less compression. I prefer setting mine to long op since recording 60 frames per second in Alt-Intra is not possible anyway. And so far as the quality is concerned, I haven't really noticed a significant difference. Do you have any personal settings that you like to use with the Fuji X-T4? If so, I'd love to hear about it, so go ahead and tell us about what you prefer to use in the comments right now. Next up are your color profiles. Unless I'm in a controlled environment with little changes in the lighting, I prefer to record in F-Log. F-Log is designed to capture the maximum dynamic range from the sensor, resulting in a flat, desaturated image straight out of the camera. The biggest advantage to F-Log is that it preserves more details in the highlights and shadows, giving you greater flexibility during editing. The only drawback is that it's a lot more work in post-production compared to editing a built-in color profile. So if F-Log is not your thing, the X-T4 does offer a comprehensive range of film simulations that allow you to achieve different color grades and moods directly in camera. So it's pretty easy to see why the Fuji X-T4 is highly recommended as an entry-level video camera. The camera is truly exceptional and by far one of my all-time favorites. From its advanced imaging capabilities to its robust design, the Fuji X-T4 offers everything a beginning videographer might need. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and smash that like button and also hit that subscribe button so you can be the first to be notified about real-life tips on how to improve your videography and photography skills. My name is Andrew Cooper at andrewcoopervideo.com. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.